Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's great to have you join us again.
We begin with Katsina United. They extended their lead at the top of the table to 5 points after 32 games. So for Katsina United, all they have to do now is not to drop the ball, win all home games, and then they will be champions for the very first time in the Nigeria Professional Football League.
Fantastic, very, very tight game. That was after they defeated Eimba by a goal to nil.
Via penalty.
6 games to go, 5-point lead. They're looking good.
Almost there, right?
No, they're not almost there.
Almost there.
Let's not
act like the England fans, right?
Exactly.
The English fans.
Yeah, but they're getting closer
and closer
with every game. So,
but the most important thing is that it's in their hands.
Exactly.
They can either let it slip or hold on to it.
Yeah, okay. I have to say they're looking good. I said it some weeks ago, Cecilia, and they're like, yes,
this is the year.
Yeah, this might just be the year. I mean,
we'll see.
We'll see how it pans out later
on
the show. Let's get on with it now and go to Europe and talk about football. Football has landed in Rome after Italy defeated England 3-2 on penalties after regulation scores ended 1 apiece. Of course, heartbreak, Cecilia, for the English right now. I'm sure they haven't slept all night. They
haven't at all. Heartbreak for all of them. Just if you're close to an English fan right now, just give the person a hug because it's so painful. It was right there at Wembley, and then the trophy was taken to Rome. How painful is that? So the wait continues for England and for the Italians. After 53 years, they finally got there. That's why England will have to wait for another time to see if they can win the Euros ever.
For the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also on the program, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now in game 2, he scored 42 points and they lost. But game 1, he scored 41 and they won. Why? Because Chris Middleton and, of course, Joe Holiday, they had to come to the party to ensure that, yes, they needed to contribute. And then they dominated. They won by 20 points, 120 and 100 in game 3 in Milwaukee. That's how you send a message. You don't just want to go down without fighting. Yeah,
that's safe to say the NBA Finals is back on after that Game 3 victory for the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And, of course, that's where we're going to start off the show from. A confirmation of that result for you. It was a blowout, really. 120 to 100. Cecilia wasn't close at all. And not surprised at all to see the Bucks come out swinging for the fences. They had to win this game. They had to make a statement, and that's exactly what they did. I recall it being in this situation before. That was a 2-0 down against the Brooklyn Nets. Right.
And they ended up winning.
They ended up winning. They went back to Milwaukee. They got game 1, game 2. Yes, it has to be said that the injuries to Kyrie and KD kind of aided the Bucks at that time. But you can't take anything away from them.
They were good. They were good.
They were very good on the night. Giannis, of course, leading the way, like you said, with another 40 points performance.
I love pictures like this.
Yeah, love it. Love to see pictures like this, Cecilia. 41 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists on the night for the Greek Freak. Of course, means he's a top performer for the night. And Cecilia also mentioned Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton.
He had 21 points. Talking about Holiday, 21 points. Chris Middleton had 18. Brook Lopez also contributed 11. Bobby Portis had 11. They all were on double digits. That's how you put it up. And for Giannis, he was dominant all through. 14 of 23 shooting. I mean, that was a brilliant performance. Now he actually joined the exclusive, talking about LeBron James as the only player that have had 40-plus points in back-to-back games in the NBA Finals. LeBron had the one that's done it since 2016, but now he has joined that camp. That's what I love about this particular game in the night.
Giannis was so good. Giannis was so good. Cecilia, he even made 13 of 17 free throws. That's it's not what you expect from Giannis. It's awful from the line. But in this game, it was just almost unplayable. And
because he had to take his time to get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it wasn't up to a minute.
And that's why, yeah, not up to a minute. And there were no fouls counting every second it took him to make a free throw. Anyways, let's take a listen now to Giannis, who's been speaking after that Game 3 victory over the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals.
I don't think I got a lot of screening roles. I feel like the low man was always there coming, but like at the same time, it creates a lot of attention. Like if the low man comes, the corner is wide open. If the corner doesn't shoot in the wing, it's wide open. You know, I feel like, you know, it's not the first action, it's the second action, it's the third action, right? So we got to keep moving the ball. We got to keep moving, you know, those guys. And at the end of the day, everybody touches the ball, everybody feels good. But that's the only way we can be effective, you know, offensively.
All right.
Cecilia, it's
you have
good
to be effective. That's the way to play.
Yeah, it's good to see Giannis playing very well as well, because when he got injured in the previous series, a lot of us thought he might be done for this. I mean, for the season.
He himself, he thought
so as well. Yeah. So I'd seen him playing, not only playing, but playing to this level.
Just dominating.
It's just remarkable, dominating indeed.
Right. Let's listen to the Suns right now. Chris Paul finished with 19 points. Devin Booker, 3 of 14 from the field for just 10 points on the night.
I don't know. I think we got to go back and look at the film. Obviously, they were home. They were very aggressive. Got to the line a lot more than we did, much like Game 2. You know, so we got to try to build a wall somehow, some way, and try to limit, you know, the guys from scoring.
You know, the point of the game is to win it, and you know, I think there was other things that went on throughout the game. You can say it's a make-miss game, but you know, at the end of the day, you have to make the other team miss. Get easy opportunities for your team, and you know, we didn't do that tonight.
Yes,
it doesn't have to repeat itself again.
Yeah.
No, all right.
Devin Booker's got to play better. Chris Paul has got to play better. 3 for 14 for Devin Booker. You don't normally see stuff like that from him. So let's just say that's an off night, and we expect him to play a lot better in Game 4 on Wednesday night, still in Milwaukee.
All right. Okay, let's leave the NBA and quickly go to tennis. Yes, he says he's the best. I'm talking about Novak Djokovic. Has won 20 Grand Slams right now, with equal with, of course, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. So you have 3 players at this time active on 20 Grand Slams. And the question you ask, what are the other guys doing? The so-called next gen. I'm tired about next gen thing, because these guys are not even ready to take up. Berrettini, I was expecting 5 sets. Yes, I prayed for it. I wanted him to at least stretch Djokovic. Don't just come in here and rule everything and go away. But then he was able to win first set. And as usual, Djokovic woke up. And of course, taking the other set. So Federer is close to 40.
Yeah.
Nadal is close to 35. He is 34. This guy, well, he can win to 25. I won't be surprised when he retires.
Yeah, Cecilia. So Djokovic is the youngest of the trio, and is the
just 1 year difference.
Just the 1 year difference, but
between him and
he's so durable compared to the other 2.
He's a beast. He's not.
He's like a machine.
Yeah,
you know?
He's not human. He doesn't have blood. He doesn't have red blood running in his veins, and that's why, you know.
So like, back to the final. I started to watch the final. Djokovic went up 5-2. I said, oh, yeah, that's it. I'm not watching again. Yeah, I went away for a few minutes, came back, and I saw that Matteo had come back to win it. You know, in a tie break. I was like, oh, fantastic. Now, let's settle down and watch here.
We have a game in hand.
An upset, right. No.
Oh, really? I wasn't expecting an upset. I was expecting at least 5 sets. Not an upset, because I knew that Djokovic, once he's at this level, he's unplayable. There's something he unleashed that is within him. He just unleashed that base that you've not seen anyone being able to do. But he keeps doing it when he gets to the final. Yeah, like he stretches. Like last thing he just stretch himself, and you know.
We're saying the same thing. Because it was the manner in which Berrettini came back from 5-2 down. So I thought normally you can take that kind of performance. You know, into the second set. You take the momentum into the second set. That's what I was expecting.
Just watching first set.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, yeah, perhaps we can see. I mean, I wasn't the only one, because the fans SW United as well too. We're getting excited, like what we're about to see. But Djokovic, once he finds his rhythm,
I mean, he gets into it.
It's very, very difficult
it is.
To defeat, and that's exactly what he did, especially with a slice backhand. He used it to great effect.
Exactly.
134 of 48 points at the net.
Remarkable.
To work his way back into the final and eventually winning 3 hours and 23 minutes. That's the king of SW United right there. 6 times is now the champion of this competition. He's
not the king of SW 19. Roger Federer is still the king because he hasn't won up to... Federer got 8.
He's the present king.
He's the present king. Yeah, say present. We say reigning king.
Right.
But the real king is Roger Federer. Until he's able to win 8 or 9 here, then he would have dethroned the king. So Roger Federer is still the king. But then, to put this into perspective, if you look at the golden generation, I mean, these players, I'm talking about the golden generation, I'm talking about Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and of course, Roger Federer. He's the only one that have won at least twice each of these Grand Slams. And also, Rod Laver was the last guy in 1969 who was able to win the first 3 Grand Slams. And Novak Djokovic has been able to do that. So when he's saying he's the best, sometimes you just have to listen to him and understand that, yes.
No, it's not sometimes. You got to listen to him. I mean, the record speaks for itself. He is the best right now in the world. There's a reason why he's world number 1. There's a reason why there's a very good chance he's going to end the season as world number 1 for the 7th straight time as well. So I don't think there's any doubts about...
322 and counting. Talking about the weeks it's been
as
at the top.
So I don't think there's any issues about that, Cecilia. There you go. That's the most Grand Slam titles of all time. Novak Djokovic, 20. Of course, Nadal and Roger Federer. But what is very instructive about this particular slide is the fact that in 2002, when Pete Sampras won his 14th at the US Open, never did we think we were going to see not 1, 2, 3 players absolutely shatter that record. I wonder what Pete Sampras thinks about this. I'd like to get his opinion on this situation. But we're living in a remarkable era in tennis. And, of course, Novak Djokovic. That's the breakdown of all the titles won. Cecilia, you were talking about winning at least twice. On all surfaces. There you go. As for you, information.
Just take a look at it. I mean, Australian Open, of course, that's where he rules. He's the king right there. Roland Garros has won it twice. Wimbledon 6, US Open 3. And take a look at Nadal, of course. He rules when it comes to clay, and that's why he's got 13. And Roger Federer, one of the greatest, Wimbledon, that's where he's ruling 8. And, of course, Australian Open is got 6. And US Open is got 5. He rules at, well, the Australian Wimbledon and, of course, the US Open. So we'll see what... Okay, you know what? Let's listen to Novak Djokovic talking about him being the best right now.
Well, I consider myself best, and I believe that I am the best. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking confidently about, winning slams and making history. But whether I'm the greatest of all time or not, I leave that debate to other people. I said before that it's very difficult to compare the eras of tennis. We have different rackets, technology, balls, courts. It's just completely different conditions that we're playing in. So it's very hard to compare tennis, say, from 50 years ago to today. But I am extremely honored to definitely be part of the conversation.
All right.
It's a great honor for him, right?
So all eyes will be on Djokovic at the US Open to see if he can become the first man to win a calendar year Grand Slam. Of course, Rod Laver was the last person to do that.
69.
Oops,
a long time ago.
52 years ago.
Okay.
Incredible stuff, Djokovic. Just
all right.
Take a
bow, yeah.
All right.
Much respect.
Much respect.
Still, let's quickly get into the Olympics now, right? Updates. But then, before we do our countdown, Djokovic is saying that he may not be there at the Olympics because of, well, we have the new emergency rule and whatever is happening in Tokyo and so much restrictions. So he said he may not be there right now. It's 50-50. Will he be or not to be? Maybe later in the week he's going to make his own decision. Let's listen to him. All right? That's Novak Djokovic. Then our countdown to 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games is 11 days to go to Tokyo. And Djokovic has just mentioned that he may not be there at the Olympics. So we continue our countdown to Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Okay, we're going to say something.
Carry on. Djokovic, No Serena, we already know that already.
No Nadal. No Dominic
Nadal.
Thiem.
Okay.
No Roger Federer.
Yeah.
No Novak Djokovic. Yeah, a bit
We'll see. It's still
uncertain.
sketchy right now.
Sketchy, right?
Yeah.
So many players would not be. I'm talking about tennis. The top players would not be at the Olympics. But then we know that, yes, Nigeria, the Tigers will definitely be there. Yes, there you have it, 11 days to go to Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Opening ceremony is July 23rd. And of course, the Tigers, they started their warm-up games. And how did they... Okay, the streets of Tokyo right here, where you have restaurants that have been warned to actually close early, no serving of alcohol or anything. And of course, most of these guys are really not happy because they feel Olympics should have just been cancelled. They don't have to suffer for it. But the games definitely is going to go ahead.
Yeah,
and then?
sure. And anyways, I mean, this is how it's going to be for the duration of the game, so we shouldn't spend too much time on it. But the story is that Tokyo's entered the 4th COVID-19 state of emergency as the Olympics get ever closer. That's the bottom
It's a fresh one this morning.
All right.
Not looking good. All right, what's looking good right now is the fact that,
what's looking awesome.
Awesome, wonderful. I mean, the whole weekend was so powerful. That's the word. It was worth it staying late to watch the Tigers completely. You know, I mean, the confidence level was, how do I put it, was, okay. All right, I need to put myself together now talking about the Tigers, how they were able to be Team America. I'm talking about Kevin Durant. Yes, he was there. Damian Lillard was there. Bam Adebayo was there. It was a full-fledged U.S. senior national team. The warm-up games to Tokyo Games in Las Vegas, Vincent Nnamdi completely dominated everyone. I mean, the threes that were raining, 20. I'm like, they're playing against the USA. But this is not how the USA basketball team wanted to open their Olympic summer. But the Tigers, after being shocked in 2012, you can remember the picture.
83 points lost. I remember that one. Very, very sad day in history.
Late Kobe and LeBron, they were all smiling and laughing because they were already benched. They didn't even finish the 4th quarter.
Yeah, but that's in the past now. Let's talk about now.
This one right now.
Game. The USA is starting 5 All-NBA players, including Kevin Durant, multiple top scorer in the NBA. And the Nigerians were just so good because, of course, we have our own NBA talents as well, too. And it showed on the night, like Cecilia said, 23 pointers on the night. The D Tigers actually out-rebounded the USA as well, too, on their way to that historic upset of the best team in the world. And, of course... the
ranking, number 22 and number 1. I mean, take a look at it.
I mean, first ever win for any African country over the USA, of course. Imagine everyone is excited, including the coach, Mike Brown, who's excited to lead Nigeria to the Summer Olympics.
Being able to help an African country, you know, with me being African-American and trying to give back, you know, because I feel like I know basketball a little bit. I keep learning every day and I will continue to learn, but to be able to give back to an African country just gave me a feeling inside that it's hard to describe. And then after diving into it and meeting the people and being around the program and trying to uplift and build the program, I'm passionate about this thing. And this has brought me so far more excitement with any job that I've had at any time in my career. It's even though we haven't won anything yet, the excitement level that I'm feeling, the passion that I'm feeling, the ability to, in my opinion, to feel like I can help uplift not just the country of Nigeria, but hopefully the continent of Africa. That's a remarkable feeling that is hard to describe.
Welcome back. Oyinwuchi is right here. We said he's back in the first 11, so he's here this morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
Keeps his
Good to have
place.
you.
My pleasure.
It's great to have you, Oye. It's good to see you keeping your place. That was because you did okay the last time.
Full 90 minutes, okay. Scored like 3 goals, right? It was on a hat trick.
Well, it's just getting 45 minutes this time around, but I imagine you make the most of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. All right. You guys can be a part of the show as well,
Yes.
to Cecilia.
So send us an email, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back to that. email sportthismorning@channelstv.com. You can send your comments and suggestions. And what do you make of Novak Djokovic? When it's all said and done, who do you think is going to be the greatest of all time? Who's going to win the most Grand Slams? Is it Djokovic, Nadal, or Roger Federer? There you go. You can talk to us.
For this morning at channelstv.com. So send us your comments. And also about England, I mean, how disappointed are you? The Italians getting into this tournament, they were one of the favorites and they proved everyone right. England was part of the favorites. France were part of the favorites. Well, they're home, but the football had to go to Rome. And that's the way it is. So send us your comments also. And if you still want to talk about the D Tigers beating the USA, is it a good fortune for us? No matter what's going to happen at the Olympics, I'm already happy.
With that. Yeah, beating the USA.
Because USA, I mean, pre-Olympics, 39-0. They've never lost. You know, but now Nigeria had to ensure that they did that. So tell us about that. What you think about the D Tigers beating the USA in a pre-Olympic warm-up games?
Okay.
Okay. Austin Okonakman will also be joining us on this segment. Also, we're still doing the Olympic countdown. We'll listen to Coach Brown, but then we're going to talk about the wrestlers.
Austin is champing at the bits.
Austin, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. Sporty good things, Cecilia, and of course to you, Tayo. And good to see you with you, Achiko again. Action-packed, beautiful world of sports, guys. This weekend showed us once again that impossible is nothing. From the D Tigers upsetting the United States of America, call it a friendly exhibition, whatever I want to call it. Nigeria defeated the United States of America in a game of basketball. Ashley Barty won a maiden and Grand Slam title and did it in style, became the first Australian to do it. It's about 44 years. What a story. Novak Djokovic also showed us again that impossible is nothing, now equaling that Grand Slam title chase. And of course, what we saw with Italy winning a maiden European title since 55 years. Guys, impossible is nothing.
Indeed.
All right, impossible is nothing. That's the way it is. All of them just getting what they want. Ashley Barty now got 2 Grand Slams right now. It's only the Australian Open.
Yeah, great one for a great weekend
it's been for everyone.
Ashley Barty. We'll come back to the Euros later on for Austin's take. He's right there in London, so he can give us a better.
I don't know if he's one of those that actually need a hug because
why is he English?
He was rooting for them, Tayo. I mean, how many times? We'll get back to that, Austin. But quickly, let's touch down on what's happening right here at home concerning...
Still on the countdown, right?
Countdown to Tokyo 20 Olympic Games. Wrestling is one of, when we're talking about medal hopeful, wrestling happens to be one of the sports that we're thinking we may just get a medal in Tokyo. And the sports minister was right there when they were doing the final trials before, going to Tokyo. And of course, the sports minister has been talking about how he believes that with this crop of athletes that we have, Adekure and the likes, Aminat, Deniji and all of them, he feels they are in a pole position to give us something at the Games.
To inspire, to support, and to see the level of preparedness of our wrestlers. 5 of them, 4 girls and 1 boy, will be representing Nigeria. And for the very first time in a long time, we've never seen this kind of preparation and readiness. We've never seen this kind of depth on the part of our wrestlers. Beyond that, when you look at the world rankings and you benchmark it, these wrestlers, especially 3 of them, are within the top 5 in the entire world. And that's why I said that this time around, the history of wrestling for this country and for the world, I'm confident that these ones will go there and write that history.
Write the history, their final preparations to Tokyo. And the president, Daniel Igali, also has been talking about the athletes going to Tokyo.
Ambit of the preparations we've seen, the athletes are ready for the competition. Wrestling comes up from the 1st to the 7th of August, and we feel that a lot of them even feel that the competition should come next week. That gives us a lot of optimism. We've been at the Olympics for over 30 years now in wrestling. We've qualified athletes to compete at the Olympics for over 30 years. And so far, we've not won a medal. And we believe, and as president of the federation, having worked very closely with them, we believe that this is our best chance to win an Olympic medal for Nigeria.
when you're talking about medal hopeful, I mean, I just listened to what you guys were talking about wrestling. I mean, this is not like you're trying to just talk. This is real because of the investments they've done, preparations they put in, especially, preparing these athletes to Tokyo. And you think with the sports minister talking and also the caretaker committee chairman, I mean, the president, of course, with the board, being dissolved. It's a bit confusing, right?
We know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
We understand.
We understand, right?
So, I mean, what's going on? I mean, from what they said, is they're not just talking, they know what they're talking about.
If there's any sports that is truly a medal hopeful for Nigeria, I think it's wrestling. And just like you said, the reasons are very simple.
Yeah.
I think the administrators have always put on their thinking caps. We have the right people. Igali used to be the president, now a caretaker committee chairman. He has won Olympic gold medal for Canada, so he knows what it takes to win a medal. I mean, in terms of the politics of the game, he was part of global sports administrators that ensured that wrestling returned back to the Olympic Games. And the wrestlers have been so wonderful, impressive. Adik Roye, for instance, has been very, very consistent. Remember, I think last month in Poland, she wrestled against world champions, Olympic champions, the best in the world. So going to the Olympics, you have wrestlers who are highly confident, who have been exposed to the best there is in the world, and we are expecting so much from them.
Yeah, a lot is expected indeed. Cecilia?
So, Austin, I mean, you've covered wrestling. You've followed some of these athletes, these wrestlers for a long time. The prospect is definitely amazing. It's like this is the time to really reap what they've been working so hard for all these years.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you that this is the time for them to impress. I was with them right there at the Rio 2016 Olympics after their fight. Aminata Dini wasn't happy. Ojuwanyo Adekure was so sad. Blessing Dudu was just asking questions. The female wrestlers, like never before, this is the time they need to prove a point. Adekure is still a shining light to wrestling in Nigeria and other athletes. I think they need to pay Daniel Gali for everything he has done for wrestling Nigeria. No pressure, but they need to go out there and prove a point. And I think they can do it this time around. It's just sad that we don't have enough male wrestlers. We're going with just one, I think, Emmanuel again. But with the female wrestlers, I strongly believe if they stay focused, do what they need to do, we can get a female wrestler on the podium for Nigeria at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. I believe they've got the quality and the time to do it is now.
Totally agree with you. The time to do it is now because of the abundance of talent and also preparations that have been put into going to Tokyo. Despite the pandemic and all the things that happened, they've been able to put in their best. All right, let's end the Tokyo segment now and quickly go to MPFL. That's Nigeria Professional Football League. It's getting closer and closer for Aqua United. Let's take a look at the results of what went down on Sunday, starting with, of course, the game of the weekend between Aqua United and Enyimba ended by lone goal. We'll see, how the goal was scored via the penalty spot. Jigawa Golden Stars and Plateau United. Plateau United lost away at 1-0. MFM and Katsina ended goalless. Ifeanyi Uba and Nasarawa United. If Nasarawa couldn't win, they could have closed. They lost to Ifeanyi Uba 2-1.
Way behind the game.
Lobby Stars and Adamawa. Lobby Stars winning by a lone goal. Just the scoreline almost very similar, 1-0 or 2-1, except the goalless game in Lagos. Sunshines at Kano Pillar Sunshine winning by lone goal. Dakada winning by lone goal. Rangers winning 2-1 against Brigade Tourists. Abia and Kwara United 2-1 also. Rivers and Warrior Wolves 2-1. It ended. Quickly, I'll get to, the game between Aqua United and Enyimba, it's the one that everyone has been talking about simply because of, the fact that Aqua United, by virtue of this game, they've extended their lead and also the penalty that happened, which is usually, referees across the world right now, even in Europe, we've seen it. They give soft penalties.
What? Okay, soft penalties.
Yeah, we've seen soft penalties that are being given.
Is that a soft penalty,
how do you question it? Is it a soft one or it's supposed to be?
No, we don't have the benefit of watching it from different angles. So depending on where you are looking at it from, these things happen. And 89-minute penalty, Enyimba will feel hard on. But you look at it very well. Maybe the referee, maybe it's a soft penalty, maybe not, but you have to move on.
Yeah, of course, you've lost. You had time to score.
What you cannot take out of the game was that it was highly competitive, keenly contested. Even the two coaches from their post-match interviews admitted that it was really a tough nut to crack for them. But for Imba, I think the title is gradually slipping away from their grips. Perhaps they would now look at fancy their chances of maybe picking a place in the top 3 or 4. Aqua United, 5 points, very, very crucial for them at this moment. And I think maybe like the European Championship went to Rome, maybe the MPFL title might be going to you.
Right. Austin, I mean, I know, yes, Aqua United is your team. I know you're obviously happy right now. Yes, you are, right?
Of course.
5 points.
You guys should stop. You guys should stop, telling everyone that Aqua United is my team. I'm from Akwa Ibom State, so I support the Akwa Ibom State brand. I support Dakada. I support Aqua United. I support Vandreza. I support everything that comes out of the state. But that's
Austin,
it.
I follow your tweets every time they win, and I see what you usually tweet. That's before Twitter was banned anyway.
I tweet about Bendel Insurance when they play football. I tweet about every team. But that said, yes,
there's
I'm proud of the team.
for Aqua United.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm proud of the team.
Let's talk about the game.
I will talk about any team that can go 18 games unbeaten in a season. And I think Aqua United, they've shown the sort of quality that I expect of a team that wants to win the league title. And again, they showed it yesterday, having the nerves to go all the way with Aimba, and then they kept fighting till they got that penalty to seal the win in the 9 minutes of the game. That's good character. That's keeping your eyes on the prize, just knowing what to go out there to play for and achieve your objective. So Aqua United, kudos for winning that one. And what a way to win it, because Kano Pillars failed to win at Sunshine Stars. And, of course, Nasarawa United also lost 2-1 in their game. So that opened a 5-point lead at the top of the table. So let's see if they can just, stay focused and go all the way to do it. As I said, if you have the sort of record that Aqua United has created this season, it will be disastrous to lose on the league title. But let's also give a shout-out to that young team, Dakada. A lot of football followers in Nigeria aren't speaking so much of that team. A team that barely got into the MPFL 2 years ago, and they are churning out results the way we see week in, week out, deserves some, mention. And of course, Abia Warriors, they had gone 6 games without a win, and then were able to turn it around. And it was late drama that did it for Coach Imama and his team. So the MPFL will always get us talking. Aimba, I said, Onyebuchi said, I agree. It seems they don't want the league title this season, and they're not, in contention at the moment. If you want to look at that tight league table, Rivers United has jumped into the frame now in the top 4. They share 55 points with Nasarawa United and Kano Pillars. They're third on the log. They pushed Kano Pillars to 4th. We're going to have a title fight that will go down the wire, guys.
Definitely. Indeed. And Aimba just 54, just a point adrift of these 3 teams you mentioned that are tied on 55 points. Maybe it's going to go down to the wire. Maybe Aqua United will just nick it before the final day. Another game that was to get us talking this morning happens to be the game between MFM and Katsina. Nondi Okunta actually covered that game. Well, one of Katsina United players actually slumped while they were training. But this game ended goalless. Now, this celebration was shortly because, the referee had to play to
was disallowed.
Yeah, this is the same situation that was seen. But the good news is that, he was revived and nothing really happened to the player.
Cecilia, it's unbelievable. The reaction. Where were the medical crew? We saw what happened. I don't want to begin to compare our league, to the highest level of football elsewhere in the world. We saw what happened when Eriksson collapsed in the game against Finland. The quick reaction, how he was. In fact, the medics that went there actually confirmed that he was dead, but they had to restart his heart. This reaction, time and time again, shows us as people who are not serious. The Martins who died in Latvia when Nasarawa United played, we saw the reaction. A lot of people, the ambulance is not, they had to push the ambulance. A lot of people gathered who don't have any idea of how to revive a player. No, so we shouldn't be seeing this kind of thing. These gentlemen who have surrounded this player, some of them putting their hands, some of them are stewards. How are they trained to handle this kind of situation? We thank God that the player was able to, stand on his feet and is alive, but I think we should really do something.
Do a lot better.
We should do a lot better.
Yeah, this happened while they were warming up, even before the game started. But the good news is, as you mentioned earlier, he was fine. But then after this, the game went ahead, but it ended goalless. Some of the drama you witnessed where goals were scored, it was disallowed.
Unfortunately, again, no
angle, you really can't.
Multiple angles, so we can't really say. Very hard to judge. Of course, the player definitely disagrees with the linesman, but it is what it is. Goalless, that's how it ended right here in Lagos between MFM and Katsina United. Of course, Sunshine Stars cannot forget stunned Canopilas of Sunshine Stars trying to avoid relegation. That was a very good victory for them, indeed. All right, that's another goal there scored by MFM.
MFM, and it was also disallowed. So it wasn't a day for goal at all, and that's why it ended goalless. Not for lack of trying, but then they were just not lucky enough to get a real goal that will be counted. Okay, there was no real one. Euros 2020, yes. It's gone to Rome, and the Italians are already home, celebrating. There was no time to waste at all.
Nope.
Immediately they won it, after the celebration at Wembley.
What are we waiting for?
I mean, direct.
Wait for what?
I mean, private jets.
Chatted back home.
And the celebrations
there you go. Giorgio Chiellini and Roberto Mancini. Mancini, what a job is done. This team did not qualify for the World Cup in 2018.
Absolutely.
4 years down the line.
He took
they are
over.
European champions.
He turned them around.
Unbeaten. 34 matches.
Games.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Amazing, unbelievable. I mean, when you look at this team, how they have gone about winning the European Championship, you just conclude that they are deserved winners.
Of course.
I mean, the final game last night was quite phenomenal. They lost, they were trailing right from the second minute.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is to dig deeper, play with so much intensity and still got the equalizer, went into extra time. And when you also consider the age, before the game, there was this Bonucci comment who said they are playing against old men, against young men. And they were still able to grind out victory at the end of the day. So, I mean, the Italians have done the job, and the English fans must have to live with it.
Yeah, but the wait continues for England. And Cecilia, I don't know why you're so eager to put Austin on the spot, because as far as I know, he's not English. And
he's
Austin,
not. He was his prediction that got him. I mean, it's got him on this particular spot.
Everyone predicts, and
Austin,
you get it
do you
right,
need a hug right now? How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Cecilia, I'm doing just fine. I think we should go on a quick break. When we come back, I'll talk about our feelings.
I'll compose yourself, right? Okay,
so
after this break, we'll have enough time for Austin. Okay, no Southgate, right?
Not yet.
Okay, Austin. Now, let's talk about the tactics of the game. What Roberto Mancini actually did. I mean, the defense, everything was kind of awesome. From the very first game they started till the final, the English teams are just wearing no match for the Italians on the final day.
I think it would be unfair to say there were no match. Okay. I think they matched the Italians even, but the Italians had a clear ambition from the start of this competition. Guys, look, I've said it over and over again. Listen, football chose Italy. If you look at that England team, they were pretty decent. And I was rooting for them because of the criticism that Gareth Southgate suffered when he picked that team. Oh, he took these defenders. Oh, this one shouldn't have been there. That and that. No one expected. Oh, they are playing well because they are playing at Wembley. Meanwhile, their biggest win at the competition was in Rome when they trashed Ukraine 4-0. They were always struggling at Wembley, and they made it to the final. They were hoping to break records. But then again, calm down, everybody. Breathe and remember that this is the same Italian team that couldn't make it to the World Cup 3 years ago. They sat down. They re-strategized. They put together a team that they know that can work with themselves. A team from different smaller teams in Italy that wants to make a name for themselves. And they did, broke national records, played good football, and now football chose them in the final against a determined England side. If you even want to talk about it, I was arguing with some friends yesterday. England, no team took England to penalties. Spain took Italy to penalties, and they can say they were unfortunate not to have won. So football chose Italy. It was a good game of football. It was a final match that would have happened the way it did. And it happened for England that they had young players who, I was listening to the guys on Talk Sports, and Darren Bent was saying that in a situation like that, when the big guys say they can't go play, it comes down to who wants to take it. Unfortunately, Saka, Rashford, and Sancho, 19, 20, 23-year-olds decided to step up to take it and they lost. Baggio has lost a penalty before. Ronaldo has lost a penalty before. Messi has lost a penalty before. When it goes to penalty, it can go anywhere. Football chose Italy. Shout out to the England team. They should keep their heads up, and then who knows, they can do it again.
We know it's still a very young side. The World Cup is just around the corner, of course. You mentioned the penalties. Saka, unfortunately, missing that pen or having his penalty saved by Donnarumma. And the coach, Gareth Southgate, has been explaining, his decisions, pretty much taking responsibility, saying those penalties were his call. And let's take a listen to Gareth Southgate speaking after that disappointing loss to Italy. Gareth Southgate visibly disappointed after last night's loss at Wembley to Italy. And here quickly, Saka, like I said, missed that pen. Also, Jadon Sancho and Rashford, those guys were brought on, you can tell, to take penalties. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for them. And someone like Roy Keane has come out to say Saka should never be the last player to take a penalty in such a pressure situation because of his age and lack of experience. What do you make of that?
He's just 19. He's just a teenager.
Yeah, but the coach said I chose those guys and I arranged them that way. So,
whose fault is that?
While I want to agree with Roy Keane, sometimes, the coach is with the players. It's right there on the spot. We don't really know what has happened, the discussions that took place. Sometimes players are overwhelmed. I remember when we played Senegal in the Nations Cup in Mali, Uruma took a penalty that hit the crossbar. Later, Sunday Olise and the other players admitted in an interview some years back that all the star players refused to take the penalty because of the occasion. They didn't want to be blamed in the event that he lost the penalty. So we don't know what happened. Some of these star players might become so emotional or become so...
And they shy away.
From taking the penalty. And the coach will say, who is going to take the penalty?
Fair enough.
Saka might decide, okay, I want to take the penalty. So it's because they lost the game. That's why all these issues are coming up. Because he's a young player. He shouldn't have done this. If he had scored, maybe we wouldn't have been talking about this
discussion.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on there. But then, England, Austin, your final thoughts before we let you go, because,
Austin's final thought, Cecilia, pardon me to do this, is for me, before you go, prior to the match yesterday, party atmosphere all over London. The city centre was jam-packed. Tell us the mood last night after the game.
I got quiet, got very, very quiet. I was scared, and that's why I was just saying to myself that football can be wicked, because this country was ready to party. The excitement was crazy. I was feeling the passion. My neighbor got into his crib like a thief. He wasn't smiling. He was so down. Even just looking outside now, before the final match, flags everywhere. Anywhere you turn, someone is asking you, is it coming home? Someone is telling you it's coming home. It's just so sad that this happened to these English fans because they were rooting in and champing at the bit to win it, particularly at Wembley. But I said what I said. They should just calm down, take it one step at a time. Shame on all of those fans, you know, pushing out racial abuses here and there. The racial slur is so disgusting. Persons attacking Bukayo Saka, saying he should go back to Nigeria, he should leave the country, saying the blacks didn't win it for them. Same Bukayo Saka that they've been praising. Football is all about love. The game is fair play. So it's okay to be disappointed that your team didn't win, but stop the hate, guys. It's everybody will be fine.
No room for racism.
At all. Stop the hate. That's the message right there to every England fan who is really not happy that they lost. It's football. It can happen to anyone. Austin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I asked you earlier if you needed a hug, yeah, I'll send you one because you were rooting for England to win.
Oh,
Cecilia, I am 100% Nigerian. I'm Austin Okonakman.
Thank you.
100% Nigerian.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
All right, do we have time to listen to reactions from some England fans? Maybe tomorrow we'll see all the celebrations and what happened to the Italians. We'll get to see that. But I'll quickly take some mails now coming from some of our fans. Sending some, I'll just take 2 or 3. Don't know how many I can take, but I'll take this one coming from Okechukwu Prince. He said that we have never gone into the Olympics beaming with confidence like this. Basketball, track and field, wrestling. He said, go team Nigeria. And this one is coming from Alfred Ibojo. He says, instinct tells me that the stars were aligned for football to go home, but no one other than Gareth Southgate has squandered it. You can't instruct a high-pressing side with avalanche of talent to sit in the box for 90 minutes against an Italian side not popular for attacking powers. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Eric
Gareth
Bobby
Southgate.
says Southgate made a mistake by bringing in Rashford. Italy, however, were the better side, controlled the possession and more shot on target. They deserve it. That was exactly my point because I felt the English, they were just no match for the Italians on the night because the Italians were ready and they just went on. And to me, I think they were just deserved winners on the night. They didn't sit back. They didn't do anything. They just came up. Bonucci, Chiellini, we saw them in the attack. I mean, these guys were literally in the penalty box. I'm like, these guys are supposed to be at the back. But hey, they were always in front.
They fought to the last minute and they are deserved winners.
I don't think there's any argument
about
that. So that's a congratulations to Italy.
Football is in Rome. Sporting Sun quickly champions Italian. That's what Italy, that's what you have here. Yeah, as football leaves England for Rome. Lingard confirms United return, and he will be made wear number 7 shirt for Everton. Okay, Messi losing 100K over. Okay, not really about that. Okay, all right.
Complete sports quickly. Almeria insists on 25 million euros for Sadiq Umar. Great season in La Liga 2 last year.
Absolutely,
step up, right?
absolutely. We wish that Sadiq Umar can sort out his future and start playing regularly, and also translate his exploits into the national team.
Of course, indeed. Bologna joined race for Simi Nwankwo as well, too. Last but not the least is Sporting Life. Messi, my happiness is indescribable.
Obviously.
The monkey's off his back. On your last word, Messi finally wins the trophy.
I mean, everybody's happy for Messi, even the Brazilians. You know, before the game, Neymar accused some Brazilians of supporting Messi. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. So he has won almost everything. This is the only thing remaining. I think this is just the icing on the cake for him. And everybody's happy. Even before the game, Rosario, the city of Rosario, you know, erected a 50-meter statue for him. He's been celebrated. And,
everywhere.
I mean, this is what he deserves, and he's got it finally.
All right, thank you, Imuchi, for coming on the program this morning.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mombe. Have a great day.